great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of disease.
Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. This is episode number 618 of the IAS, the Immigration Answers Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration attorney practicing law throughout the United States, out of our offices in St. Louis and San Diego and Washington, D.C. How's everybody doing? How's your Thursday going? I'll be here for the next hour trying to answer all of your immigration law-related questions. I have a motion. Madam Hooley, Madam Hina, I have a motion. My motion is that as soon as you guys get in the waiting room, that you can post the link to the waiting room. I don't think we have to wait for the show to start. Hooley is worried I was coming up with something crazy. I can come up with something crazy, but that'll take me a couple minutes. So let me think about that. How's everybody doing? What's going on? We got Gustavo here. Creaky Bones is here from Oregon. Hina is here from way overseas. Nurse Laura is about to get that drilling done on her teeth. That's no fun. Hope it goes well. I had my 2 back teeth pulled a month ago, and I have to say, it wasn't much fun. They wanted to give me Vicodin, but I took a pass. I'm too freaky. I watched that Dope Sick, and if I ever have to take OxyContin, I'll be on death's door, because I sure as hell don't want to do that. But to each their own, and everybody has their own pain tolerances. I hope it goes well, Laura. Tony is here. S. Normandy 3030 is here. It's apropos that S. Normandy is here because today is the anniversary of D-Day, June 6th. And we thank all of our veterans, living and deceased, for protecting us and for fighting for our freedom. Rich is here. Happy Thursday off camera day. Probably so. Kawika's here. I said Tony's here. AJ is saying hello. AJ's still mad at the Norfolk field office. Bashir in the house. Lindy here. New York City with Ms. B is also here. H&M. Hey, we're all celebrating the 1-week anniversary of Trump's guilty verdict. Indeed we are. We have Morocco in the house. We got Chums is saying hello. Another Kwaku is here. We got 2 Kwakus in the house. And we had a Kwaku on the show. I don't know if either of those is the Kwaku who was here yesterday. Robert's glad that I got my hair cut. Fatuma is in the house. TNT to the H-Town is here. Everybody ready for the NBA Finals starting tonight? Who you got? I've got to go with your Boston Celtics because Jason Tatum is from St. Louis. Justin Tatum? Jason Tatum. The dad. One's the dad, one's the son. I'm so old, I've been around for both of them. I think it's Justin Tatum is the one playing now. I don't know. Anyway, Omaru's still in Nigeria. D-Skull's here. Dammy, I'm up in the conference room. So I just got out of a meeting and I said, why go set up all that stuff? I like having my face close to the camera. I don't know why. Everyone's like, dude, on TikTok, you're way too close to the camera, but I like to be up close. I don't know why that is. It's because I got a big head. I got a big head. So I don't know. MD's in the house. Gregory's here. Ms. Jumpsuit's here. Everybody's here. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Umaru's saying, yeah, Jason's playing now. Okay, good. Jason Tatum. Thank you. Hello. Amra's here. Hey, can I tell everybody what you're doing tomorrow or no? Yeah. Hey, come here. So this is Amra, and tomorrow she's going to become a U.S. citizen at 10 in the morning, right? Yeah. So we're all excited for her. I'm going to go down with her for the ceremony, so that should be fun. Thank you, Amra. Yep. We're very happy for her. It's very exciting when a team member actually becomes a U.S. citizen. And don't tell anybody, but we're going to try to make a big deal out of it, even though she doesn't want us to make a big deal out of it. Like, I'm surprised she even came on camera. Usually she doesn't. Oh, Z says, Jim skips me every time. That dirty Jim. God damn him. All he does is skip me. He knows it's me. Although I'll tell you, Z, there's no one in the waiting room named Z. So I couldn't skip you even if I wanted to. And Z, if you tell me who you are, I promise to call you up first because I just want to prove to you that I'm not that dirty bastard. What's going on? Celtics in 6. That's what I'm saying. Celtics. I do like Luka Doncic, and I used to like the Mavericks because Mark Cuban owned them, but I don't think he owns them anymore. Yeah. So Umrah filed for naturalization at the end of March, and guess what? It's the first N400 we ever filed electronically, and I have to say, it went pretty quickly. We had her interview about 3 weeks ago, and her ceremony's tomorrow. Now, it was without a doubt the cleanest N400 you ever did see. No problems at all. The officer was sort of a douche, though. She's like, "You had to bring your lawyer with you," and I'm like, "I work with Umrah." And she goes, "I know that." It's just not nice at all. But it's exciting. Robert's saying Dallas in 6. What the heck? All right. I still don't see Z. Oh, Z says I'm kidding. Oh, Z was just giving me trouble. There's no Z. See, Z knows I'm not a dirty bastard. All right, all right. Why am I so happy? Well, I'm happy that Umrah's becoming a citizen, and I'm happy. Well, I'll tell you some stories. I'll tell you a story later about the American Immigration Lawyers Association. I'm very upset with them right now. But yeah. All good, all good. JD's been waiting. Hello, JD. You're on mute.
Hey, Jim, how's it going?
Awesome. How you doing?
Hey, do you like my background? I know you like guys sitting in bed. So
yeah, it looks like you're floating. It looks like your bed's floating behind you.
That's right, it is. Yeah,
I like it. Nice.
All right, so I'm a long-time viewer. I actually discovered you back maybe in 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
And more recently became interested in U.S. immigration a number of months ago. I'm the guy actually watching your videos back from I'm all the way back to 444 now.
Wow.
So yeah, I know it's fun. You're fun to watch.
Awesome.
All right, so I just have a couple of questions for you, if that's okay.
Sure.
All right, so I have a friend who lives in a Canadian border town and regularly crosses the border to the United States using an access card to take advantage of the U.S. market for shopping and picking up packages for things you can't get in Canada. And so when my friend begins to process an employment-based visa through either like TN, H-1B, or EB visa, does that person need to begin residing in the U.S. given that they might have demonstrated immigration intent? And does that complicate things related to border crossings? Because you've talked about that a lot, about immigration intent.
Well, I think you've mashed up a couple different concepts, so I want to sort of pull them apart and see if we can. So number one is, are you saying that you think that maybe coming across to Canada and to the United States from Canada and shopping demonstrates immigrant intent?
That wouldn't, no.
So a TN visa is a non-immigrant visa, so we don't have to worry about immigrant intent there. I don't know what you're getting at. The H-1B is dual intent. So what is your friend concerned about?
So maybe the thought is that to live in Canada, like this friend has a family, and kids and whatnot. Doesn't want to disrupt his life in Canada too much, but would like to work in the U.S. So there's a number of friends that I'm aware of that live in Canada still and do cross the border to work in America. I'm wondering if that gets complicated when you get into like an EB visa or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think then it starts to, but I also think that things at the border are different and they're sort of used to seeing all that. So if this person has a long history of always leaving and going, and, short little visits a day, even just a day, I think that CBP is not going to get too worked up about it. Most of the time, they're just going to get waved through.
Okay. And then the second question is, so let's assume that person has an employment-based visa. How does it work for them to getting a green card? Do they just have to work long enough and wait for that visa to become available for a green card to happen? Or I'm not sure how that works.
Okay, well, so then what I always do is I go back to the visa bulletin because it's easier to talk with actual numbers and sort of walk. Have you ever looked at the visa bulletin?
I've seen you pull it up a number of times. Yeah,
it's a great resource for. Let me pull it up on the screen. That's not my stream. Where's my stream? I got too many damn tabs open. Here we go. All right. Present, share screen, visa bulletin. All right. So this is the June visa bulletin. So actually, this is one of the ways that people can really, if you really want to learn about immigration, I think reading the visa bulletin every month, it really helps you understand a lot of the things that we talk about. Okay. So on the employment-based side, there's sort of two big things. The final action date, see that there?
Yeah.
and the dates for filing the employment-based visa application. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, you understand that it's sort of a 2-part process. Well, I mean, the employment is really like a 5-part process, because the employer has to go through the Department of Labor. The employer has to post the job, figure out what the prevailing wage is. They have to post the job. They have to show there aren't any Americans that can do the job. And then once the Department of Labor is satisfied, then they send in what's called an I-140 petition. An I-140 petition, it's a petition for an alien worker. It's that I'm a U.S. employer. I want to sponsor JD's friend for an employment-based green card. And here's the job posting. Here's the occupation. Here's the employment level that we want. And then USCIS. So when you file the I-140, you then get a priority date. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So with the priority date, that's your place in line, because basically there's a bunch of people in line ahead of your friend, right? And so they all have different priority dates, and their priority date is their line number. Okay, so if they're in the United States and they have an approved I-140 and they want to adjust their status, then see here, let's just take a hypothetical person who filed in the EB2 category. They have a master's degree, okay? See that there? The February 15th, 2023?
Yeah. Okay.
Can you guys see the arrow when I do that squirrely thing, or no? I can't tell.
I can see it.
Okay. Yeah, so February 15th, 2023. So right now, if the employer had filed the I-140 and had a priority date of February 15th, 2023, and the person was not from China, India, Mexico, or the Philippines, then you can actually file for adjustment, right?
Meaning to change to a green card?
Change to a green card, yeah, if you're in the United States. If you're overseas, then that's when the National Visa Center would begin processing your case. So the good thing is if you're in the United States, upon the ability of filing the green card, then you can also file for work authorization and advanced parole, and you can stay in the United States. You could, in theory, go off your H-1B if you wanted to. We try to tell people not to do that, but that's sort of, think of it this way. When your employment date becomes current, the world of possibilities opens up to you, okay?
So how do you get a priority date? So the employer files, and then at what point do you get a priority date?
It's when the employer started the process, the perm process with DOL. So it's when the employer starts the process, they're assigned a priority date.
Okay, I see.
And you can see here how it's such a screw job for India, because they're still handling cases that were filed 12 years ago, right? So for you from Canada, it's a year of a line. For people from India, because there's per country caps, you can see how much of a hardship that is, right?
Right. But now the process takes so long. So if an employer files all the perm stuff and does all that sort of stuff, wouldn't, in theory, like their priority date become current? Because it doesn't it take her something like a year or two before you can even start working or anything like that?
Well, we're going to get to the final action date here in a minute. I'm going to go up to that in a minute, okay?
Okay.
But for now, so like for Indian people that came in May, that have a priority of May of 2012, they've just been like renewing their H-1B, or they've just been writing the work authorization that comes off their green card application that they were able to file a long time ago. Sometimes these dates go backwards, sometimes they go forward, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So now if you look at the final action date, this is the date, people with a priority date, that they can actually issue someone the green card or the immigrant visa. So for you, it's just a month difference. But like in the EB3 category, it's like almost a year and 6 months more. So sometimes you'll get big gaps, right? So that means that there's just a limit on the number of visas they can actually give away, or green cards they can actually give away. So then you can't get your final action. You can't get the actual green card until this date becomes current. So there's sort of 2 dates that you have to pay attention to as you go through the process.
Yeah, I think maybe I'll understand it more as I go along. It seems fairly complicated.
It is, but after a while, you'll get it. Any other questions, JD?
No, I don't think so. No, I just love your stuff.
Thanks, man.
Maybe I'll just leave you with just one thing. I just remember when you were talking to somebody and they had kind of mucked up their immigration sort of forms that they were talking about.
Yeah.
And the quote that you kind of had for me, which I thought was hilarious, was you should said this person should go to the immigration office and say, "Mr. Immigration Lawyer, I've made a mistake on one of my forms, and it's because I listened to one of my friends who were shitheads.
Yeah.
And then but I've talked to this lawyer, which is you, and he's not a dumbass. And he told me I should answer the form this way. So I've been walking around the past week and thinking to myself, I've talked to a lawyer who's not a dumbass. So that
Thanks,
man.
man.
It was hilarious. So good stuff.
Thanks, buddy. See ya. Thanks for
See ya.
watching. See ya. Stay connected. All right. We love JD. He's a good member of the old community. Uh-oh. Oh, darn it. Now I've done it. I zoomed in on my screen. Hold on. I gotta set up another. All I can see is my mouth. Hold on. That's funny. Do. All right, I'm back. This is great television, isn't it? Woohoo, Jim, the technological savant. I-130 approved, but I-45 pending. Oh, I love these cases.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I filed my I-130 and I-145 concurrently last July, and my I-130 was approved this year in February. And it's been over 4 months, and there has been no progress on I-45, no RFE, no interview, nothing. So at what point should I be concerned and do something about it?
So, my favorite question when people ask me this is why, if you had to guess, why do you think they didn't just go ahead and approve the 45 when they approved the I-130?
I have literally no answer to that because I entered the country legally. I'm on status. I'm on H-1B visa. I'm married to a U.S. citizen. So I don't know.
What country are you from?
India.
And what were you, how long have you been on H-1B?
I've been on H-1B for like 2 years now, and I was on F-1, which is the visa I entered on.
And you don't have to say the name of your employer, but is it like a company people heard of, or is it a company that ever gotten any kind of H-1B trouble?
They haven't gotten into trouble, and it's not a company that people have heard of.
So is it like a staffing company?
Yeah.
I might spend some time just searching around to see if, in fact, they have gotten in trouble. The I-130 got approved without an interview?
No, yeah, without an interview.
So one thing that I've seen, do you live in Florida by any chance?
No, I used to live in Philadelphia, where my case was at, and then I moved to North Carolina.
While
But when I called,
while it was all pending?
yeah.
Mhm.
And then later, my I-130 and all my combo card was approved after I had moved.
I mean, one thing that I've noticed, usually it's not with people who are only on an H-1B for 2 years, but one thing I've noticed, especially in Florida, but in other places too, is I don't think it's fair or legal, but they do use green card interviews to ask people who work on H-1Bs for staffing companies about the details of that staffing company's employment practices. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So I'm just here with you. I'm just guessing. Guessing, what about, have either of you been married before?
No.
Any kids?
No.
And you've never been out of status?
No, I was not out of status. And the only thing I'm worried about is that we did take a trip to Mexico in May, and then we got married within 60 days. But I had my H-1B, so I think it's a dual intent, so I don't know if that's an issue.
Yeah, no, that should be okay. And the I-130 is approved, so it seems like they've probably gotten past that.
Yeah.
So you said you filed July of 23?
Yeah.
And you properly notified them that you moved?
Yeah. I made all the changes online, and I-130 was also sent. Yep.
Did you move before the I-130 was approved or after?
Before. I moved in November, and I-130 was approved in February of 2024.
And they sent the I-130 to the right address, the approval?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
They even sent me a combo card in January this year. And yeah, I haven't used my combo card because my lawyer told me to stick with my H-1B until I get a green card.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But in any event, I would say if you don't hear something by September, October on the 45, then you might need to sue them.
Okay. The other thing is that this is through an unofficial channels, but my lawyer had a contact in Philadelphia field office,
Yeah.
and he emailed them, and the contact replied, the supervisor said that they have an issue with their LS software, which is their technical software. They do cases, and the officer, when he was trying to decide on the case, could not make a decision because of the technical error, and they've raised a service request. But that was in March.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you watch this show very much, but I don't usually spend much time believing anything they say about why people's cases. To me, it's black or white. I have my green card or not.
Okay. So then the answer is I should just wait until September for a mandamus.
Yeah, I'd say 15 months.
15 months. That's the processing timeline for Philadelphia field office as well.
Is it? Yeah, so that's perfect.
Okay. But where I'm in Raleigh, it says 28 months. So when I contacted their lawyer, they were like, no, you have to wait for 28 months before you can do anything.
Yes, that's people who don't know shit.
Okay. That's
Bye,
good.
See you, man.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Yeah, so this is the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. Hello to everybody in the comments. Hello to everybody who's watching. Thanks for joining us on Off Camera Thursday. It's good to see we have TikTok Tuesday and Off Camera Thursday. But I'm always looking for those people that want to come on camera. I'm going to go to Bernardo. Hello, Bernardo.
Hi, Mr. Jim. Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Thank you for your services.
Thank you for being here. What can I help you with?
So I just wanted to inquire something from you. And I came here in 2017, and I came in with my 3 children with the B1, B2 visa, and I applied for the asylum, but I've never been I have not been interviewed yet.
Sure.
Yes. So I met a guy from our church, and we are planning to get married and go forward from there. So I don't know what is your advice to us, and anything that you can help us, any advice to us so that we can move forward.
So first of all, congratulations.
Yes, thank you so much.
Second of all, is there anything in your asylum case that you're worried about that maybe, do you work with a lawyer? Did you file it yourself? Did somebody fill it out for you?
Yes, I worked with a lawyer. I have a lawyer.
And everything in there is true?
Yes, it is true. It is true.
They didn't make up stuff or add extra stuff?
No. It is true. I told them everything because I was in a relationship for 15 years. I got 3 children, but we were not legally married.
How old are your kids?
My kids is my firstborn is turning 18. I have 15, and
wait, time out. When is the 18-year-old turning 18? When is that one turning 18?
This June 25th.
Any chance you could get married before June 25th?
No chance.
Okay. So they're not going to be able to apply. Your spouse will not be able to apply for them.
Okay.
But they can for the other 2, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
Go ahead.
So should I apply all of us together, or I can apply first, then I can apply for them later? What do you think?
Are you asking me because of a money situation or something?
No, but just to make sure that everything is safe and everything is going straight the right way.
So let's talk it all through. So
yes.
If money's not an issue, then once you get married, your spouse should file an I-130 for you and a 485, an I-130 for the middle kid, and an I-130 for the youngest kid.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Jim.
Wait, now, hold on. I have a couple more questions. I want to make sure we don't miss any issues.
Yes.
You said, what's your back home country?
I'm from Kenya.
Did you have any kind of like traditional marriage or customary marriage or religious marriage in Kenya?
No, never.
For sure.
Yes.
And when you applied for your B1, B2 visit visa, you didn't say that you were married or anything?
I think that is the issue. I said I was married and I wasn't married. So I think that would be a challenge.
Okay. Wait, say that again. I'm sorry. I was reading Dammy's comment, which I want to ask you about. Go ahead.
No, that would be a challenge because I said I was married, but I wasn't legally married for sure.
Aha. So yes, this is a big issue. So you're telling me that when you applied for your visit visa in Kenya to come to the United States, that you were married to the children's father?
Yes, that's what I stated, and I was not.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's called a misrepresentation. So that's going to make everything a lot more complicated.
Yes.
So I would say you probably want to be careful, and you probably want to use a lawyer to file, because be important how you answer some of the questions on the I-485.
Yes.
And you're going to have to get ready. You're going to have to start getting ready for a waiver case, which you'll need later. Okay.
Okay.
Now, one last thing. So when do you think you're going to get married?
Anytime this year. Anytime this year. Maybe in the next 2-3 months.
But not before the kid turns 18.
Not before. Not before.
Okay. So so let's walk it through. Let's say you get married. If you get married in June.
Yes.
Or let's say you get married in August, and then your new husband applies for you, right?
Yes.
Then that's probably going to take about 6 or 8 months for you to get your green card. So then that kid's going to be almost 19, right?
Right.
So then if you apply for that kid,
yes,
as a green card holder, right now it's like a 3-year wait. They might age out, which means they're then going to have like a 10-year wait, and they might not be able to stay here the whole time.
Okay.
So if there's any, I'm not trying to hurry you up to get married, but if there's any way you can get married before they turn 18, that's going to make a big difference.
Okay. We can do that. We can try to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you can always do the courthouse marriage and then do the church marriage later on.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Jim.
Bye, Benato. See ya. Thanks for the call.
Okay. Thank you so much for your help. We appreciate it.
Okay, bye. Oh, I always love talking to people from Kenya. Always get a big smile on my face when I talk to people from Kenya. Jimmy's here. What do you say, Jimmy? You're on mute.
Okay, how are you doing?
Did you snap your fingers when I said you're on mute? That was great. I think you did. How you doing?
Okay, I'm doing good. So we really appreciate the work you're doing.
Sure,
with
buddy.
the community. All right.
Sure.
So Jim, I have a question. I have my wife who is on let's say her father has filed a petition for her since 2014, and she got approved since 2014, and then it was in 2015. So NVC sent her a letter where they say that there's not yet a F3 visa available.
Okay.
She's living in Haiti. So far, we don't hear from them. We don't know what to do. So we'd like to proceed faster the case. So what would you advise us to do?
Hold on one second. F3. So, you said 2013?
No, 2014.
2014. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's still 4 years of people in line ahead of her. There's nothing to do but wait. They're working on cases from 2010.
Wow. So we have 4 more years to wait.
At least.
At least. I mean, that can go over that.
They can.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Okay. So we don't have anything. We can't do anything now.
Right now, at this moment, you could conceivably apply for humanitarian parole, but I don't think they really do much. So I don't think there's much to do. I think you're just waiting.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Timmy. Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right. This is the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking, and now I'm going to talk to JJ. Hello, JJ.
Hey, Jim. First of all, thanks for everything you do. By the way, I don't know if you remember, I'm pacing back and forth so I can think better that way.
That's what I do.
Yes. I talked to you before yesterday about my waiver, I-601 waiver for my 3 adult U.S. children, blah, blah, blah. I think you remember that, right? I'm from Brazil. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to tell you something pretty interesting, and I want to hear your opinion on that. Now, the reason I applied was because back in the day, a bad relationship I had, actually had a restraining order on this girlfriend of mine. The prosecutor put it all the way up to the moon and charged me with burglary, but was never convicted of burglary. Okay, it was misdemeanor, criminal trespassing, blah, blah, blah. But when I applied for my green card back in 2021, they emailed my lawyer saying, yes, the conviction for which he needs a waiver is burglary in a state of Washington. I was like, okay, I was never convicted. Lo and behold, we filed the I-601 waiver. It's been 26 months. I have the money to hire you sometime this month already, by the way. And I talked to you before yesterday, Jim. And then lo and behold, yesterday at 7:30 in the morning, Brazil time, I got an email from the consulate. Now, my waiver was sent to Nebraska. And my status is still pending. Your waiver was received. But they asked me for all my sentencing paperwork. And I told them, I wrote them. They didn't copy my lawyer, by the way. But then I answered them, and my lawyer charged me $1,500 just to send them a letter. And then I don't have that money because I'm going to do the writ of Mandamus with you.
No. Give that lawyer that money. Send that letter. Hopefully you don't have to sue him.
Oh, I know.
No,
I mean, my gosh.
You don't want to sue now. It sounds like they're revisiting whether you even need the waiver.
Exactly. That's my thought. But I was really nice. I said, thank you for your message. Here's the paperwork again. They've been sent already by my lawyer. I just sent them the convictions that my lawyer put on the waiver, just the convictions, with the complaints. So they have everything there. And I say, should you need any more information, please feel free to contact me.
Wait, so you didn't take up the lawyer on their, you sent it without sending the letter from your lawyer? The letter from your lawyer is the most important thing. Sending them the records is the easy part. Explaining to them why it's not a conviction that needs a waiver is the whole value. So you should talk to your lawyer.
Oh, I see. So it's better for me to take the $1,500 out of the money from the writ of Mandamus and give to him to do that.
I mean, if you can spend $1,500 and get it done without suing versus $5,000, and not every single lawsuit works, I think you've got movement. I wouldn't sue right now.
Yeah. Oh no. I'm thinking. I'm hopefully I'm not gonna need to sue them. But all I did, they were really short on their message. Say, you're welcome to answer this email.
Wait, hold on. Let's take a deep breath.
Okay.
So, you got charged with burglary.
2003. Yes, convicted with. Yeah.
In what state?
Washington.
And they charged you with burglary, and then you pled guilty to something less than burglary?
Yes, criminal trespass.
And that was a misdemeanor.
Yeah, gross misdemeanor. 364 with 364 suspended. And
you have you have all the documents from everything that happened in court.
Yes, my lawyer sent them. He was very surgical about it, about sending only the complaint and the charge, and then the sentencing back with the waiver. Yep.
Yeah. And then they asked for the whole file.
They asked specifically for the
charging documents.
They used the word sentencing document.
Okay. And then
from all your legal proceedings, and then I sent them just the convictions and the complaints from the same waiver that my lawyer sent to Nebraska, so they know that I'm not trying to cover up anything. It's all being 100% transparent.
Did they ask for the police report?
No, they didn't. I didn't send them that. Neither has my lawyer put it in the waiver.
Did you tell your lawyer that you were going to reply to the embassy by yourself?
I told him. He said, "Yeah, Julia, I can do a letter for $1,500, but if you want to just send them on your own, that's fine. Let me know what you decide."
Okay. All right. Well, then that's all they asked for.
That's all they asked for. They didn't ask for any. And then I told them.
See, I'm bummed you saved that $1,500. To me, that's sort of like an invitation for more advocacy. That's exactly when you needed your lawyer, was when they asked you for that. So if it's still open, if there's still a way for you to do that, I would spend that $1,500 on the lawyer.
So should my lawyer answer them again in spite of my answer?
Yeah, I would.
Oh, if that's what you tell me, I'm going to do that right now.
I think that's what I would do.
Okay. Okay. I shall do that.
Thanks,
All
JJ.
right.
Good luck, buddy. Keep us
Thank you.
posted, okay? See ya.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, bye. All right. Yeah, you know, sometimes you got to listen to your lawyer. I say that as a lawyer who I want my clients to listen to me. They don't always listen, but got to listen to your lawyer, especially when you've paid them all that money. Don't cheap out at the last minute. All right, Abed's here. Hello, Abed.
Hello,
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
Good. What's up?
Sir, I'm on B1, B2 visa, and I got married 2 months before. But my wife is taking disabilities benefit, and she is living in government granted flat, and I cannot live over there. So I have a joint sponsor which can sponsor. So can I apply the immigration pay?
So has your spouse? So you're saying okay. When did you arrive in the United States? When did you land?
I came here on B1, B2 visa, and I got married after 6 months.
Okay, and so right now you're out of status.
Yes, my entry is expired.
Did you know the person that you married? Did you know them before you came to the United States?
No, I don't.
How did you meet them?
I meet her in a Manhattan, Times Square, New York.
In Times Square?
Yes,
What were you doing in Times Square, and what was she doing in Times Square when you met?
just I came here for visiting the Times Square, and she is also came here, and we talk, and then exchange number, then we meet in other places.
What country are you from?
I'm from Pakistan.
Is she a U.S. citizen?
Yes, she is a U.S. citizen.
Have either of you been married before?
Yes, I got married and I have 3 children as well.
Okay, and when did you get divorced?
I divorced 4 months before.
So you got divorced while you were in the United States?
Yes, when I enter the United States, then take a divorce.
And did you file for divorce in Pakistan or in New York?
No. My wife take a divorce.
Against you?
Yeah,
Okay, and you knew the person that you married. How long did you know them before you got married? Why'd you get married so fast?
that's is my fault. I got married when I met in a month.
So that's not an answer. Why did you get married so fast? What was the rush?
Just not just I fall in love, so I decide to get married very early.
But why? Was it so you could get a green card?
No, actually, it was not my basic purpose.
What was your basic purpose?
My basic purpose was to love
Okay.
and to
Well,
spend life together.
okay. So this person, did you say you don't live together?
But yes, we
Oh, your audio went away.
live together.
Hold on. I couldn't hear you there. Say that again. Why right now you don't live together?
No. We are living separate, but we meet 3, 4 times in a week
Why do you live separately?
because she is living in government granted flat and I cannot live over there. And she has not agreed to live me in a separate place.
Okay, what's your
because he
question?
lose the.
What's your question for me?
So can I file the immigration fees case?
Anybody can file whatever they want. If you're asking me, do I think this case is going to win? I don't know. I'm worried about your case. You've said a lot of things that have me worried. Number one, you were out of status. Well, first of all, you were married when you came and then you got divorced. You married a US
Okay.
citizen pretty quickly after meeting them.
Okay.
You don't live together. This sounds like a case that a USCIS officer is going to deny. This doesn't sound like a good case to me.
Thank you so much for your guideline.
Okay, bye, Abed. See you, buddy.
Okay, thank
All right. Tasiba's here. Hi, Tasiba.
Hi, Jim. Thank you for your hard work and keep doing this show for us.
You got it.
So I'm coming today for a question for my brother. He entered the United States like 2 weeks ago, and we would like to file asylum file for him.
Okay.
And do you guys file asylum for someone who come across the border?
We can. Yeah. Was he paroled or did he get caught or what happened?
So he came in from Sudan. We do have a war there, so he
Sure.
escaped from the war.
But when he came across the border, where did he come across?
From Mexico.
Right, but where? Like where in Texas or Arizona or what?
Oh, in California. Sorry.
Did he get caught? Did he stop at the border?
Yes.
Did
they give him a paper sheet? I didn't understand what does that mean, but it's like a promise time for the court to be seen in the court for Omaha in 2028.
Can you send it to me?
Email it, you mean?
Please.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, send me all of his paperwork and his passport, the cover page of his passport.
Okay, I can do that.
And then your contact information.
Okay, sounds good. And also, you're not telling the price on show, right?
Right. I mean, usually asylum's like $7,000.
Okay.
All
Sounds
right.
good. All
Thanks,
right.
Steve.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank you.
Masalama.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye.
See you. Bye-bye. Masalama.
All right. Okay, so I wanted to tell you guys a story. I haven't talked yet about Joe Biden's proclamation, and I probably won't get into the merits of it other than to say it's very, very similar to Trump's Title 42 plan and the way that the Trump administration tried to stop entries at the border for people who wanted to file for asylum. They're shortening the amount of time people have to make their claim, to file a lawyer, and it's all being done to try to persuade white voters in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and in North Carolina, all the swing states, that Biden is tough on immigration and that the dirty Republicans wouldn't be as mean as he's being and pass legislation to close the border. I've been hearing about fucking closing the border forever. Anyway, so that's that. You guys have probably been following that. Obviously, I'm not happy about the plan. In my book, we treat all politicians the same. Yeah, Wisconsin. Thank you, Raphael and Binyam. If a Republican has a pro-immigrant policy, I'm going to be happy about that. If a Democrat has a shitty immigration policy, I'm going to be mad about that, right? So as an immigration lawyer, I'm a member of the American Immigration Lawyers Association. Creaky Bone says they're trying to join AILA, and I think that's good. I don't think anybody, if you're hiring an immigration lawyer, I would not hire someone that's not a member of AILA. It's not that expensive. But yesterday or 2 days ago, the American Immigration Lawyers Association executive director, a guy named Ben Johnson, released a press release basically cheering on Joe Biden as he instituted this presidential proclamation. And it was such utter bullshit. The fact that the nation's largest immigration lawyers association, really the biggest and the oldest and the only one that really has any power, would endorse this plan simply because Joe Biden's a Democrat. It was outrageous. It's outrageous that they would do this. And The reason they're doing it is because the American Immigration Lawyers Association annual conference is next week in Chicago. And as they often do, they've brought a bunch of government officials. There's government officials from the Biden administration coming to talk to us about how, oh, that Donald Trump sure is bad. You better vote for us or bad things are going to happen to your clients. Well, bad things are going to happen to our clients because of what Joe Biden is doing at the border. There are people who will die because their asylum cases are turned away at the door through an illegal policy that violates U.S. and international law. So I'm not going to the conference, Dammy. I don't go to that conference. I don't do bar associations. I don't do the people that want to run the bars are sort of like the kids that did student council. Now, I did do student council, but they just want to boss everybody around. And the AILA crowd is sort of run primarily by the sort of big firms that do lots of H-1Bs, lots of employment stuff. So I think you have to ask yourself if old Ben Johnson would have been giving a endorsement of a plan that stopped H-1Bs, right? So it's just interesting. A lot of our teams going. The conference itself is great. The conference is like 4 days. Amani's going, and I think 5 of the attorneys are going, and they're going to learn a ton. It's just pure content. It's just like great stuff. I've spoken at that conference, but I generally don't go because it's just a lot of glad handing, and I'm not going to go there and clap for Biden's immigration people. So anyway, that's probably more than you guys wanted to know, but it pisses me off, so I thought I'd mention it. Wasim, what you got?
Hi, James. Good afternoon. I have a question regarding Mandamus. What is the time frame we should do Mandamus? Like, it's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years?
What kind of case?
Pending asylum.
Oh, asylum. I mean,
Affirmative.
3-4 years.
Like, what are the chances if we do 3? What are the chances if we do 4? I know the more we wait, the better.
My understanding, my belief right now is that most asylum offices will not interview you unless you sue them. So I can check. If you email me, Wasim, I can check with the team. I think we've been filing them for 3, and I know our rule is 2, but I don't think we've gotten any pushback on 3s. I think 3s are fine.
3s are fine. Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. If 3s is fine, I know 2 slightly may get a pushback, but
yeah,
if you have success on 3, then that's what I wanted to hear. Thank you. My second question is, can I apply for advanced parole and meet my spouse and kid in a third country? What are the chances of getting it approved, and do you help in that?
We can. It makes me nervous. I'd want to know. You can certainly email me about it. We can talk about it. Send that email, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com, because I always want to know about whether the person was out of status, what their immigration history is. There's sort of lots of stuff. And obviously, you're not going to go back to the country.
Correct.
Yeah. Shoot me an email. We can talk about it. But yeah, we handle advanced parole. Sure.
All right. Sure. Thank you.
Bye, Wasim. See you, buddy. All right. Let's go to Ayula. Hello, Ayula.
Hello, hi. Good afternoon.
How you doing?
Good. I have a couple of questions I wanted to ask. I did followed my wife and children to interview. I'm a U.S. citizen by naturalization. So they were having an interview where I was there as well. Then the officer asked me, my previous, when I became naturalization, if I included my children in the form, because they were out of I fight for them in 2021. I became a United States citizen to 2019. So I can't remember because I filed the form online. It says he couldn't see them on the form. So it was like, oh, he's going to get back to me regarding that. So I wasn't sure why, because at the time, maybe when I filled, I was only, I wasn't thinking, because I do have a child, my previous marriage, that probably put him there. So I didn't know. Okay.
Where are you from?
Nigeria.
When did you come to the United States?
I came 2008.
What kind of visa?
Married-based visa, K3.
And you were married to that U.S. citizen, and so the child that we're talking about, what year was that child born?
The other children is after my divorce. Yeah, they were like.
I'm getting confused. Okay. So how many children do you have? I'm going to
Three.
write this. 3 children. Okay. What years were they born?
The first one, 2008. The other two are twins, 2013.
Okay. And so when you applied for your N400, it says list all children. You didn't list all your children?
Yeah, I could, because I couldn't even remember. That was 2019. Maybe I didn't. I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
So I couldn't remember.
What you're saying is you don't know the answer to the officer's question.
Yes, I told him I could not even remember was there, because he told me that when you look online he didn't see it. So on the application.
When did you naturalize?
2019.
And how many times have you been married?
Just twice.
Twice? Okay. So before you came to the United States, you were only married to the US citizen who sponsored you.
Yes.
And then you divorced that person and now you're married to somebody else.
Yeah, I got married 2022.
So Ayula, if I were you, it sounds like he or she might be looking back at your N400 and saying that you didn't disclose you had this kid. If you had disclosed that you had this kid, we wouldn't have given you your citizenship, or we wouldn't have given you your green card. So therefore you're a liar and we're going to try to take away your citizenship. So if that's me, I'd be a little nervous. So what I would do if I were you is I would go online and fill out a form. It's free. It's called a G639, G639. It's a Freedom of Information Act request. And you say,
G639.
Yep. And say, I want my complete immigration file. And I would list all the forms you've ever filed with them. I want every piece of paperwork you got. And then that's a Freedom of Information Act request. I'd also make a Freedom of Information Act request for the State Department. And then when you get all that stuff, send it to me and I'll look through it to see if you properly disclosed your children, because if you didn't, I think you might have trouble.
Okay. All right, I'll do that then. Thank you very much.
Bye, Eula. See you, buddy.
Okay.
See how they cause mischief? My man's already a U.S. citizen, and now they're going back to look at his old applications. How about that? Alam is here. Hello, Alam. Are you there? I think they're locked up. I don't see them. All right, we'll get rid of them. Vi. Hello, Vi.
Oh, hello.
How you doing?
Hi, I have a question. So I have a friend and his dad, he's applying for asylum.
Okay.
And he's waiting, but he's just asking if it's worth it to apply for asylum, because he had a punishment because he tried to cross the border 6 years ago, and his punishment got expired. So that's why he's asking if it's worth it to.
That's hard to answer in a vacuum. I'd want to know everything that happened. If the guy wants to come on the show or email our office with the timeline of everything that happened, we can talk about it. But I can't say yes or no.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Vi.
Sure.
All right, Adewale, hello. Can't hear you. I can't hear you, buddy. I don't think you're on mute. It's something else. Like, We'll come back, buddy. I can't hear you. Thomas, what you got?
Hi, Mr. Jim. How you doing today?
I'm great, Mr. Thomas. How you doing?
I am good. I'm good. Thank you very much for everything you did. Really, it's priceless.
Sure, buddy.
For everything you're doing.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, I'm here today to ask you. I came in the United States 2014, and I applied asylum.
Okay.
And it's been almost 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pending asylum. No interview. I don't have anything from USCIS. And in 2016, I met my current wife, and we have a children. He's 7 years old.
Okay.
And she's naturalized citizen. Okay. And recently we got married.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And our wedding reception is gonna be in July. Right now, I've recently, because you give me a confidence to file by my own self, like I-130, and we file our I-130 for a marriage-based green card recently, like almost 15 days. But yesterday, my case tracker, it showed me that my asylum is a scheduled interview.
Aha.
Yep. So what do you advise me like on this situation? I wish like the marriage based will happen and go back home and see my 86 years old mom. It's been almost 10 years.
You mean, hold on. To the country that you sought asylum from?
Ethiopia.
And you want to go back to that country?
No, because right now still there is a situation like a war situations, and the situation is bad. Even if the government has changed, even the current government is still there's a situations. But my plan is to see my mom to a neighbor country.
Okay, perfect.
And yeah.
Okay, so when you first entered the United States, you had a visa back in 2014?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so now you're going to marry, and now you married a U.S. citizen, the I-130 and the 45s on file, and your asylum interview, they said, the online portal says it's going to be scheduled, or you've gotten the actual interview notice?
It showed that schedule it's changed yesterday. It
True.
showed that, yeah.
What does it say?
Interview. I didn't get the notice so far.
Sorry, your mic went out for a minute. I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
It says in scheduled interview.
And you just filed for your green card, right?
I filed I-130. I compiled everything, my I-148 and I-131 and everything. I was planning to send it today, but yesterday, yeah.
Yeah. No, you should have sent that with the I-130 originally. You got to get that thing on file.
Because I filed I-130 online.
Right. I understand. So
Yeah,
here's the deal. Here's what I would do. I mean, first of all, is there anything in your asylum case that you're worried about? Did a lawyer file it? Did you file it? Did a notario file it? Who filed it?
I did myself. I filed it by myself.
So everything in there is true.
Yes, sir.
So I would say that what I would do is I'd get my 45 on file as fast as I can. And when I get my, if the notice comes, do you know which asylum office will have your case?
Arlington.
Yeah. What you might do is send them a letter and say, hey, here's my I-130 notice. Here's my I-45 receipt notice. I do not wish to withdraw my asylum case, but perhaps we could postpone the interview to see, you might want to get a lawyer to help you to see if I get my green card based on marriage, and then the asylum case becomes moot. I wouldn't withdraw it, but you might notify them of it and they might postpone the interview. Otherwise, you got to get ready for the interview as if you're not married at all. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what I would do.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good advice. Thank you. I will do that based on that. And I'm heading to drop the FedEx mail for my I-485.
Yeah. Filed that thing yesterday.
Yeah.
Bye, Thomas.
All right.
Thank
you, Mr. Jim. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good luck. All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. It was a good one. I always like Thursday shows. Always lots of fun. We'll be back tomorrow. What time, Hooli? 2:00 Central on Friday. Tomorrow's Friday, I think, isn't it? Episode 619 will be tomorrow tomorrow's Friday. Yesterday, I thought it was Thursday, so who the hell knows? I'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central. That'll be our last show of the week. Maybe I'll do one over the weekend. If you want to know when we're going live or to get the link to the waiting room first, text the word show to 314-470-3300. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.